of Abuja. It's 8 a.m. and that means it's time for newspaper review on Citizen 93.7 FM here in Abuja. My name is Lawrence Omoiti. Welcome to this great show. As usual, we will be traveling around the country and in the process looking at some of the highlights in the papers across the country. And during the second half of the show, as usual, we will be taking an in-depth analysis into some of the stories. And we start off right from the front page of the Sun newspaper. And the paper leads with the story, Army Chief seeks homegrown tech to tackle insurgency, banditry, and others. Establishment of Coast Guard in Nigeria overdue. This is according to Olufemi Adowo. And ATPS prepares Nsukka Farm against climate change. And Tinubu making progress on promises to reform Nigeria. That's according to presidential spokesperson Boala. And party supporters clash as Edo election petition tribunal begins sitting in Benin. Ghana election, PDP can ex-ACF scribes hit Yakubu INEC chair. And still staying with the Sun newspaper, presidential CNG initiative generates $459 million in a year. And the RMAFC denies opposition to Tinubu's tax reforms. IATA report shows Nigeria's only African country with first quarter 2024 passenger decline. Okay, investment and innovation crucial in TB fight. That's from the First Lady. And Sanwo-Olu to Lagosians, your taxes will not be used for frivolous expenses. Okay. All right, we move on to the Punch newspaper and leads with this story on politics. 2027 presidency. Atiku Obi alliance can't unseat Tinubu, declares APC. And Farotumi, police allege witnesses intimidation, oppose bail application. And Taraba governor's sister allegedly shot by police escort dies. That's a very sad one there. And tax reforms. Reps may resume debate as Southern Caucus prepare for talks. And relocation dispute. Federal government councils 64 billion naira Osun Airport project approval. And minimum wage. FCT workers kick over January date. Lawyer tackles INEC chair for praising Ghanaian election. Tension rises in as second Okwama leader dies in military custody. And Senate to stop enforcement of electrical standards by state. And we move on to the Tribune newspaper. Nigeria poised to become top agricultural export nation by 2025. This is coming from President Bola Tinubu. And tax reform bills, RMAFC opposes proposed VAT sharing formula. Okay. Daily Trust is next. And it leads with the story, Nigeria far from fighting institutional corruption. That's according to the World Bank. And 10 wanted Interpol suspects arrested in 1 week. This is according to the federal government. And concerns over resurgence of town clashes in Kano. Federal government hands over 40 CNG buses, tricycles to Kwara. Respect Brazilian laws to avoid trouble. Envoys warns Nigerians. Kano hospital worker returns missing 40 million naira to honor. All right, we move on to the leadership newspaper. Amid horse trading over tax reform bills, 2025 budget presentation may suffer delay. And next is This Day newspaper. Tinubu to Nigerians, don't let politics divide us. Unveils NIS technology complex. OPEC peaks, Nigeria's Adeyemi Bello as chair of Board of Governors for 2025. And Tinubu seeks Senate confirmation for Southeast Northwest Development Commission's nominees. Naira gains marginally on official foreign exchange market. And House launches investigation into Naira scarcity amidst nationwide hardship. And we move on to the Vanguard newspaper now, and it leads with the story: Nigerians grown as cash scarcity compounds hardship. A process of rigging 2027 polls has started. This is according to Professor Jinadu. Alleged courts cyberbullying, why court denied Farotumi bail. Days after Okwama community PG's death, 81-year-old Okwagbaye dies in detention. And gunmen, okay. Bill defeat Adeleke with candidates from Ogun West, Osun West, that's APC stakeholders. Another Labour Party reps defects to APC. 2027, APGA ready for alliance with fellow progressives. That's Ezel Kenwa. Tax reform bills, we are open to dialogue, reps Southern Caucus. Bank reduce cash withdrawal limits to 10,000 naira in Nasarawa State. All right, we move on to the Guardian newspaper now. And the paper leads with the story: cash scarcity worsens as banks upgraded digital platform falter. And cybercrime law, defamation now weapons of prosecution, NGE and Serap say. FG suspends energy tariff review as 4-month subsidy hits 768 billion naira. Consumers neck kick as discos push for 240 naira per kilowatts of tariff. ASU strike, students suspend planned protest, issues 48-hour ultimatum. Speculators push parallel price market to 1,630 to $8. And CBN recognizes, okay, that's a paid story, FIFA to confirm 2030 World Cup host today. Governor Zulum enrolls 1.5 million children in Borno schools, rebuilds 104 institutions. And deep water gains traction as multi-billion-dollar project stall. Tinubu commits to delivering promises, Lord's Interior Minister. And Lamata blames mechanical fault for red line rail suspension. Nigerian Air Force reduces accommodation deficit by 25% across unit. And tax reforms, Southern reps back Tinubu as stakeholders clash over VAT hike economic impact. And in Lagos, traffic flooding biggest impediment to improving residents' lives, says Governor Sanwo-Olu. And resident extol government for unveiling upgraded Ikoyi Road network. Lagos threatens to remove unauthorized gates in 7 days. And still staying with the Guardian newspaper, fire kills one destroyed properties in Ilorin. President seeks Senate approval for Development Commission's nominees. And still on the front page of the Guardian, courts, okay. Man gets 5 million naira bail for forgery and fraud. NSCDC reaffirms commitment to anti-vandalism fight in Lagos. And police nab arms ammunition supply suspect in Anambra State. Security operatives kill terrorists in Kaduna abduction attempt, recover arms and ammunition. 22-year-old man stabs mother to death in Bayelsa. An NSCDC official bags 7 years in jail over 12.2 million naira employment scam. And police seize 129 billion naira counterfeit currencies. And CIIN Lords reinsurer for supporting ICT facilities. And bank directors meet with Oyedele on tax reform. Alright, we move on to penpushing.com for your latest information now. And this is the leading story there. Ogun State traditional ruler dabbles into politics. Names preferred governorship aspirants for 2027 polls. And still staying with penpushing.com, Ogun State government to sign $10 million investments on oil palm by-products. And still on penpushing.com, armed robbers kill governor's sister. That's a very sad one. Comments, and that will be where our in-house analyst, who is already on standby, will help us navigate.
Hello, Abuja. You are listening to 93.7 Citizen FM, the latest radio station based in Nigeria's capital. Our station seeks to broadcast a broad mix of culture and views with priority given to development programming to enable residents share ideas and opinions, music and drama. At Citizen FM, we believe in progressive talk and solution people of diverse culture together through communication. Enjoy listening to 93.7 Citizen FM. We are more than just a radio station. We are a part of your life.
Oya o my people, make una come gather here. Which kind tori una wan hear on top radio? Wetin dey catch fire on top social media? Bring am on top make we talk am for Citizen 93.7 FM Abuja every Monday go reach Thursday and the time na 5:10 wey be 10 minutes after 5. Make we talk am as e dey be.
The issues.
Everybody respected that because it was coming from the president.
Theory behind it, the way the people took the battle in their hands.
Some civil servant retire without a roof over his head.
The cause.
If we cannot trust you, then you cannot take the ticket of this country. Hussein cannot be divulged from those who cause the crime. Honestly.
The passion.
You must have national spread. So where is it?
Why are you so concerned about that? He said money was...
I never...
No.
The platform is always the same.
Insight on Citizen FM 93.7.
The source is constant.
My name is Lawrence Umoite.
There is always an opportunity.
Tomorrow, Insight returns with another interesting...
Insight with Lawrence Umoite on Citizen 93.7 FM Abuja. Be part of the experience.
The Renewed Hope Agenda for Nigeria is the brainchild of President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration. It is geared towards renewing the hopes of Nigerians for a better future through its policies, projects, and programs that are aimed towards lifting the GDP and economic growth of the nation by improving standard of living of the average Nigerian. The Renewed Hope Agenda Radio is poised to promote all of the above while enlightening Nigerians as well. Join us every Tuesday afternoon, 2 p.m. on Citizen FM Radio, 93.7, Labor House, Central Business District, Abuja. Renewed Hope Agenda Radio on 93.7 FM. The future starts today.
We believe in this nation, and we know we'll get there. We'll run, we'll defend.
Thank you so much for staying tuned. It's still Newspaper Review on Citizen 93.7 FM here in Abuja. Welcome to the second half of the show, and this is where we look at some of the stories in details. And as usual, we have our in-house analyst, Mr. Salmon Salami. Good morning, sir.
Very good morning to you, our able presenter and our super citizen listeners.
Yes, Mr. Salami is Chief Operating Officer, Citizen 93.7 FM. He will be deploying his wealth of experience to help us understand some of the stories better. Once again, thank you so much, Mr. Salman, for joining us.
It's always a pleasure being here.
All right, the phone lines are open now. You can join the conversation. Call us on 0903 2229797. That's 0903 2229797. You can also call us on 0898 0818 222205 or 0818 222206. And don't forget, you can also send us a WhatsApp message on any of the numbers. You can even make a WhatsApp call on any of those numbers, and we will be glad to respond to you. Mrs. Salami, let's straight up. Let's start with this day newspaper. Tinubu to Nigerians, don't let politics divide us, as he unveils NIS Technology Complex. President Bola Tinubu has pleaded that Nigeria should not be allowed to disintegrate on the altar of political differences, calling for peace and unity in the country, even as he insisted that Nigerians are one no matter whatever divides us. He made the appeal during the commissioning of the Bola Ahmed Tinubu Technology Innovation Complex at the headquarters of the Nigeria Immigration Service in Abuja. He described Nigeria as occupants of one building but living in different rooms. Mr. Salami.
Yes, yes, we are living in one building, but different rooms. In some of the rooms there are AC, in some just fan, and for some there's even no
window.
No window. But the truth is this: it is one Nigeria, and we should be united. And this comes into play more when Nigeria is on the field playing football. Mm-hmm. That is when you now see Okoro and Adebo sharing roasted corn over a bottle of Hero or Star. The truth is this: Nigerians can be one, and they are one if and only if their interests align. And it is more of politics, because our leaders, when it's convenient for them, always divide us along religious, political, and ethnic lines. But we as a people should not allow this primordial sentiment to divide us. It is better we unite, because united we stand and divided we fall. I've been saying it, that Nigerians are not divided in the real sense of the word. Those who are divided are the hewers of wood and the fetchers of water. I've been saying it. All our big and rich men, they form a class and they protect their class. And I've been repeating it, that no rich man will fight another rich man because of a poor man. If he does, it is not for his love or because of the love he has for the poor man. It's because his interest has been threatened, and he's just using the poor man as a cannon fodder. Let me repeat it. Our leaders and our wealthy, the wealthy ones amongst us, they are in a class. They protect their class and respect their class and share things. It's only the poor man in Odeda and the poor man in Nusugbe who fight, forgetting that there is no difference between the poor man in Zungeru and the poor man in Lawrence village.
Why, man?
They are all united by poverty. And they should know that they belong to the same class. All they should be concerned about is how to improve their well-being and hold the public office holders and the wealthy ones accountable, so that at least the goods or the good things of life can trickle down in such a way that at the end of the day they will heave a sigh of relief.
Exactly, Mr. Salami. I agree with that. I also think that, generally speaking, Nigerians are good people. Nigerians are loving people. Nigerians are welcoming. All all you need to do, Mr. Salam, is just go to any village today. You are stranded and you walk into any house. Chances are that, I'm not even talking about now because of maybe for security reasons, but generally, chances are that you'll be welcome, you'll be given a place to stay. He does not know you, he doesn't even know where you're coming, he doesn't know whether you're a Christian or you're a Muslim. That is Nigerians for you. That's how we've always been. And I doubt whether you can walk into any house in Ikoyi or in Banana Island and somebody will even give you access to a house to drink water in the first place.
The gate man, who is a poor man like yourself, will not even allow you enter. So, in fact, in any case, what are you doing in Ikoyi? Who you be?
So, but seriously speaking, I think as a nation, as a people, we are good people. It's just that when it comes to election time, when it comes to issues of policies, the elite, they know how to whip up sentiments, either religious or political or tribal, and then a lot of us willingly, sometimes unwillingly, become the tools in the hands of these elites who see beyond the immediate. They know what they are doing.
And they are not divided.
They are not, no.
They are friends.
They know they are not at all. At the end of the day, if this political party does not favor them, they move to the other political party. They don't consult you. They don't tell you, that, okay, let us move. They move.
I've always wondered why the white man would drink beer and his mate that will get drunk.
Anyway, so that's it. I joined the president to say that we shouldn't allow politics to divide us. But politics will always be there because a lot of the elites deploy politics to their own favor at the end of the day. And as citizens, we need to see beyond this most of the time. When election time comes, we know that it's election time. After election, we know that it's time for governance and it's time to hold our people accountable, especially our leaders at different levels. We keep saying it on Citizen FM. That local government councillor, you need to hold him accountable. That local government chairman, you need to ask the right question. That man who is representing you in the state assembly, you need to know what he's doing. Not to talk of your governor, not to talk of your ministers and even the president, but you need to make sure that you hold each and every one of them accountable. Mr. Salami, let's move on to the Punch newspaper. Still talking politics. 2027 presidency. Atiku Obi alliance can't unseat Tinubu. APC declares. The ruling All Progressives Congress has warned that no alliance of the opposition leaders, including former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and former Governor Peter Obi, will be potent enough to stop President Bola Tinubu's re-election in 2027. The warning was given by the National Publicity Director of APC, Bala Ibrahim, in an exclusive interview with The Punch. He was reacting to a statement by Atiku's spokesperson, Paul Ibe, that both his principal and the Labour Party counterpart had learned their lessons in the last general election and would unite to kick out the APC.
Well, there is a need to educate Paul Ibe on one or two things. And besides that, like we just said, was it yesterday, that between now and 2027, there will have been a lot of political alignment and realignment of forces in such a way that it will make a nonsense of whatever prediction we try to make now. And besides, who knows what will happen in the next 1 hour? These are factors and variables that are beyond our hands of God. So we should factor all those things in. But man must always plan, no matter what. Let us look at Atiku and Obi coming together to unseat APC. And APC is saying that no amount of coming together will unseat them. You see, politics is not it's not mechanical. That when you do like this, light comes. When you switch on, when you switch on, there is light, and when you switch off, it is off. You are discussing behavioral science.
Social sciences.
You are
dealing with
discussing
human beings.
And they are hardly predictable. Very difficult to predict. And so many things will affect and influence their decision. I hope they are factoring all these things in. But let us face it. The fact remains that today is the 11th December 2024. And yesterday is gone. Tomorrow is in the womb of time. It is only now that we can talk about, especially this moment. And as of today, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And whatever happens depends on so many variables, so many factors, in such a manner that it will be too simplistic to just say that if 1 + 1 come together is equal to 2. In politics, it does not add up like that, and it does not come to that. Let's keep our fingers crossed.
Exactly. Let's come back to the president, Mr. Salami, and going to the Tribune newspaper now. Nigeria poised to become top agricultural export nation by 2025. President Tinubu has reaffirmed his administration's commitment to transforming Nigeria into a global leader in agricultural exports by 2025. Speaking at the Road to South-South National Convergence for Renewed Hope Agenda at the Presidential Villa, the president unveiled Project Earn from the Soil, an ambitious initiative aimed at revolutionizing Nigeria's agricultural product and sector. He emphasized that the South-South region, known for its vast natural resources, would play a pivotal role in driving Nigeria's economic transformation beyond oil and gas. Mr. Salami, have always been saying this.
Well, I think discipline is the bridge between thoughts and accomplishment. And I've been saying it, that if we succeed in going back to the soil and mechanizing agriculture in such a way that we are able to feed ourselves and export, then we will have made a very, very measurable progress. And it starts with feeding yourself. What are the basic needs? The 3 basic needs?
Food,
shelter, and clothing. Food first. In fact, where is the body if to put the cloth if there is no good food to nourish the body? Honestly, jokes apart, this is the way to go. There is the need for us to be intentional and deliberate about farming. Farming not the way our parents did it. The days of oars and cutlasses is gone.
For good.
Forever. Mechanized farming, it is even beyond mechanized farming today. Agro-business. That is it. Make it attractive to our younger ones in such a way that rural-urban migration
could reduce.
Lawrence, we were not young to know Uncle Ben's rice. I have been saying it that we can revolutionize farming in such a way that the younger ones will not like being a megad again in town. If whatever you see in the town is available in the village, I won't even call it village, in the countryside, you can stay there and still live far better than those who claim to live in town. Or what is the essence? like Hausa would say, me anfani. What is the benefit of staying in town when you could be in the village and still live a better life? This is time to stand up, be intentional about farming, make farming attractive in such a way that Nigeria, the naira will appreciate, and the clamor for dollar will decrease, and the general life of any Nigerian and every Nigerian will improve. It is very, very good that Mr. President has now told us that in 2025, it's just some few days, that we'll be there, the El Dorado. I love being optimistic.
Yes, Mr. Salami, yes. And even if we would not get that to that place by 2025, there should be a significant progress started. And one of the ways that the governments, both at the federal and state, can help is to provide conducive environment for those who really believe in this dream. And for the federal governments and the states, for some states, one of the aspects is to take a look at the power sector. Because it's one of the things that discourage a lot of people, a lot of startup people who just want to do small kind of business. When they think of the funds required to power these things, it discourages a lot of people. If this is reduced, people, and when we talk about agro business, talk about mechanized farming and everything, we must emphasize that we need not just to export raw materials, but finished product, add value. We shouldn't only enjoy tomatoes during the tomato season. It should be an all year round thing. Nigeria is so blessed that there's hardly any kind of fruit that you don't have in this part of the world. We should have blending companies. We should have companies who can convert a lot of this fruit to juice and so many other things. And we should have storage facilities across, good transport system and everything. All these things together will make sure that the agro business is thriving.
It is not rocket science. It is doable. I keep on wondering what happened to my good friends who studied food technology in the 80s. And we have Federal University of Agriculture littered all over the states. What precisely are they doing?
Some of them are running law programs now.
Oh my God. We have chemical engineers who studied in our universities. We can't do it. Honestly, I was reading a book on what the then Biafra, those who were Biafra, were able to achieve that time. I am not saying that it is something that we will still romanticize or talk about, but the fact still remains that when there is the need, urgent need, in fact, I think necessity at times is the mother of invention. There is the dire need for us now to go back to the soil because hunger is striking us in the face and we must avert it. We have everything going for us. The land is fertile. There is arable land. You cannot beat it.
And
God
the weather
has
is
blessed
conducive.
very, very clement. Very, very clement. God has given us everything. It's just the human factor. And the day we decide that yes, bye-bye to hunger, not only feeding ourselves alone, but adding value and making sure that we get the benefits from this raw material. It is not enough to just export raw materials. Take cocoa down to UK, and by the time it comes back as chocolate, you are paying more. Crude oil abroad, by the time it comes back as fuel, you are paying more, and the byproducts too. Lawrence, I want to plead that we should not only put on our thinking cap, let us leave it there.
All right, the phone lines are open. You can call us on 0903-2229-797. You can also call us on 0818-2222-205 or 0818-2222-206. I'm Mr. Salami. The Guardian leads with this story, and it's been of concern to a lot of Nigerians in the last couple of weeks. The cash crunch issue. Cash scarcity worsens as banks upgraded digital platforms falter. A few months after most banks claim to have upgraded their digital infrastructure to serve their customers better, their services have deteriorated, with users experiencing what appears to be the worst offering seen so far. Sadly, over-the-counter services have not offered any solace, with most banks restricting cash withdrawals per transaction to 10,000 naira. This has triggered another round of cash scarcity across the country, pushing up agent banks' charges by as much as 100% or more in some cases. Mr. Salami, what exactly is happening?
Well, honestly, I don't know. I have no answer to your question. I have experienced it. Why? I went to Access Bank and I was told that I could only withdraw 10,000 over the counter. It was terrible. Are we back to the Emefiele days? We said it here, never. But in our Korokoro eyes, we are witnessing it again. It is biting very hard. And I call on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, a man who's alive to his responsibilities, a man who has told us that he feels our pains, and a man who has told us that he has come to renew our hope. Sir, please renew this hope. Nigerians are having what I call cash crunch. We are cash trapped. What exactly is happening, Lawrence? Tell me what is happening. I know you are not a banker.
I wish I knew, Mr. Salami.
Somebody knows. Somebody has not done his work. Or somebody did his work wrongly. Whatever it is, please come to our help. We need your help, Mr. President. I'm sure your aides are listening to us. There is the need for us to have money to transact business. Do this for us, Mr. President. Nigerians are calling on you. And as we, the pen pushers, the purveyors of news, the minders of other people's business, we are their ears and their eyes. Sir, there is scarcity of cash. There is scarcity of money in the town. Help us look into it, sir.
Very, very important. And you see, Mr. Salami, why this is very important is that if the banking platforms, the e-platforms were up and working perfectly, I don't think the problem would be this pronounced. Because a lot of people can transact a lot of businesses online and they don't need cash. But when you transact, you send money and it goes, the person does not receive, it is hanging, you need to go and make complaints. And several times, I know that sometimes you go to the banks and you lay complaints about transactions that have not been fulfilled. And at the end of the day, this is also contributing to the pressure a lot of Nigerians are facing, because when you say, no, people should transact their business electronically, but the platforms are not at their peak.
They are not at all. And it is still part of the problem. And that is why we are calling on the authority to please do something about it, because it touches the raw nerves. It affects almost everybody. And when you talk of money, Nigerians to some extent still love to hold the cash.
The cash, yeah.
That is the truth. And it is not misplaced. After all, it's their money. They reserve the right to hold it. Make it available, please.
All right, Mr. Salami, let's move, still staying with the Guardian newspaper. Abuja National Mosque gets Igbo Imam. This story happened yesterday. The first Igbo Muslim to be appointed Imam of Abuja National Mosque, Professor Iliyasu Usman, has said he accepts the good aspect of Igbo culture while rejecting the bad ones that are not in line with his Islamic faith. Usman stated this during his unveiling as one of the imams of the National Mosque, alongside 4 others by the Secretary General of the Nigerian Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, Professor Ishaq Oloyede. Usman, who is the first professor of Arabic in Igbo land, hails from Enugu State. The 4 other imams are Professor Lukman Zakarai from Osun State, Dr. Sheikh Abdulkadir Salman from Kwara State, Barrister Haruna Mohammed Eze from Enugu State, and Professor Khalid Aliyu Abubakar from Plateau State. Clarifying that he has not lost his Igbo root despite being a Muslim, Usman noted that every tribe and individual has a culture, adding that these cultures have both positive and negative aspects. Salam.
On a lighter note, you mentioned my son, Alid. He didn't leave this house yesterday.
No, he's not.
You mentioned my name, Salman.
He didn't leave this place yesterday.
You mentioned my name, Salman, and I didn't leave this place. Fine enough. Honestly, I was so happy yesterday when our executive chairman told me that I should deploy one of our reporters to the National Mosque, that 5 imams will be unveiled, and that 2 were Igbos, from the east.
Enugu State.
Enugu State. I was so happy. Lawrence, I've been telling you that God is not a Briton. He's not a Yoruba man. He's not Igbo. God is God.
Damn.
God is God. You see, the beauty of it is that before Almighty Allah, we are equal. The differences, both in status, in religion, they are artificial and they are man-made. And I keep on saying it that at the end of the day, if we stick to the substance and leave the form, we will be a better person. If you are a Christian, in the Christian way, that is, if truly you are a follower of Jesus Christ, you will be a better person. If you are a Muslim and you believe in the oneness of God, monotheism, and you surrender or you submit totally to the will of Almighty Allah, this country will be a better place. I keep on asking myself that those who brought us to this situation, if they are not Anthony and Moses, they are Abdullah or Abdurazak, where was the Bible and where was the Quran? None of these books tell us to steal. Thou shalt not steal. What I'm saying in effect is that it is not enough to be hypocritical about religion. Let us be practical about it and be sincere to ourselves, because you cannot mock God. You cannot deceive God. If truly we are spiritual and we follow in toto the dictates of these foremost religions, our country will be a better place for all of us to live. It is good that we now have all Nigerians as imam. You see, I don't think that doing the right thing should not surprise us. The Council for Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, they have done well. They have done noble. They have shown us that there is no Jew or Gentile, that we are one. And I'm very happy that this is part of the unity that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu preached yesterday. We are seeing it. It is now practical. And I think Islam does not belong to any tribe. It's a universal religion. Thank you very much, Supreme Council
for Islamic
Affairs. And thank you very much, my brothers, the new imams. Please lead us to God.
All right, Mr. Salami, let's move on to the leadership newspaper. Amid horse trading over tax reform bills, 2025 budget presentation may suffer further delay. There are indications that the simmering standoff over the tax reform bills may delay the presentation of the 2025 budget to the National Assembly, as it had yet to be seen over the years. President Bola Tinubu submitted 4 tax bills to the National Assembly in October. Sources at the National Assembly told the leadership newspaper that the presidency is lobbying the members of the National Assembly to pass the 4 tax bill before the budget is signed into law, a failure that may affect the lawmakers' constituency project. A federal lawmaker said feelers from the presidency indicate that the administration will use the 2025 budget proposal as a bargaining chip to get the federal lawmakers to sign off on it. The source said that by holding back the budget, lawmakers would not have allocations for their constituency project, which could affect their political chances. Politics.
Lawrence, honestly, I do not really know how to review this. I'm telling you. But be it as it may, I think the government should not toy with the welfare and well-being of the people. Budget is action plan and statement of intention, what we intend to do, and it affects all of us. And the non-passage of the budget will affect us negatively. And I have been saying it, that the core mandate of any government is the welfare and security of life and property. The welfare and well-being and the security of life and property. If that is the case, and of course, you know, you need resources to effect this. And anything outside appropriation is what? Misappropriation. And money must be appropriated. And unless the budget is looked into, discussed, debated, and passed, and assented to by Mr. President, not a dime or a kobo could be spent. Is that all right? That is the more reason why I'll plead with all the critical stakeholders, and in this case, the National Assembly and the executive, to do the needful in the interest of the people.
Exactly, and because Mrs. Salami, today is the 11th of December, so it's very unlikely that the budget will be signed before the 31st of December, as has been the case in the last couple of years. So whatever it is, the nation should come first. Mrs. Salami, before we go, there's this story that I deliberately left for the last. Kano Hospital's worker returns missing 40 million naira to owner. A middle-ranking civil servant employed by the Kano state government, Malam Aminu Kano Omar Kofo Bazugal from Dala local government area, returned bundles of US dollars worth over 40 million naira that had been mistakenly left behind by a visitor at the center in Kano. The money belonged to Alhaji Ahmed Mohammed, who accidentally left it in a bag in the hospital parking lot near a mosque. He had briefly sat there before rushing off to catch a flight. Minutes after the owner departed, a hospital staff member, Aminu Umar, who was working with colleagues to clear the pavement, discovered the bag of money. He told Daily Trust that after about an hour, the owner returned to inquire about the bag, and he promptly returned it to him. He said the owner offered a reward, but he declined, although he did provide his phone number, and the owner promised to contact him upon return from Nigeria. Mr. Salami, I love celebrating people like this. These are Nigerians, and when you see people use the same brush to paint every Nigerian as a fraudster, this is something to celebrate.
Lawrence, I call it the unsung heroes. You see, the so-called national honors should be reserved for the decent ones amongst us. I do not know what the National Orientation Agency is thinking about this. These are the mirrors that we should hold up for others to see that we are Nigerians, we are decent people, we are people of integrity, and do not describe us by the exceptions, by those that do not count, the insignificant ones. Majority of Nigerians are good people. He has shown it. You don't need to be a wealthy man to be honest. You don't need to be rich to be transparent. Poverty is not an excuse for bad behavior. What we are saying is this: what is not your own is not your own.
Period.
And there is no excuse.
Period.
You can't justify larceny. You can't justify theft. What we are saying is this: poverty is not an excuse for dishonesty. This man could not in any way be said to be comfortable, but he knows this money
does not
belong to me. Period. Let's do the right thing. We have good people amongst us. We must celebrate this man, Lawrence. We will tell our Oga here that there is a need for one of us to go to Kano to go and meet this man. It's one of our best. We should showcase him.
Exactly.
We must hold him up as a mirror for others to emulate. Nigerians are good people.
Exactly, and I think just like you said, the National Orientation Agency and other agencies of government should link up with this man. This is the kind of role model that our younger ones need. Aminu Omar